Hey everybody, I wanted to give you guys a little update on Blanco and let you see how he's doing. I have him on the lead rope and we're just hanging out outside under our apple tree and he is just eating some grass. His leg and foot are still the same. He just got it dirty, got that dark spot on it. That's dirt. Um, but it's not getting any worse or anything. So that's really good. And I have to tell you guys a funny story. I'm having to give Blanco Butte. He's not really painful or anything, but the vet said to go ahead and give him Butte because it has anti-inflammatory qualities in it and that'll help with his tendon swell. And he hates to get it because it tastes terrible. And so last night I gave him his Butte and I know it leaves a bad taste in his mouth. So after I gave him his Butte last night, I tried to give him peppermints because he loves them. That's his second favorite treat in the world after apples. And he came over and he sniffed my hand and he gave me this look, like this dirty look, like, I just don't like you anymore, Mom. And he went and put his face in the corner of his stall, just stood in the corner and would not even turn around and look at me. And then I thought, well, I just want to make sure you're okay. Everything worries me, when he's not feeling good. And so I went in the house and cut up an apple and took it back out to his stall. And of course that's his favorite thing. I'm sitting in a chair. You can see he's like sticking his face over here. And so I took the apple out there and he came over to me and he sniffed my hand and he took the tiniest little piece of apple out of my hand and he went and put his face in the corner and he was just eating it really slow and kept giving me dirty looks the whole time. And then he wouldn't come back and take any more apple out of my hand. And I said, "Are you mad at me or do you not feel good?" And so I put the apple in his feed pan and he went right over to the feed pan and started eating his apple. And every time he took a piece of apple, he would look at me. And I swear, if a horse can give you a go to hell look, he gave me a go to hell look last night. And then after he ate his apple, he put his face back in the corner of his stall and just wouldn't look at me. And I walked in his stall to try to pat him and he just kept turning away from me. I mean, he was seriously mad at me because I had to give him that Butte. It was kind of funny. He's comical that way. And I also wanted to give you guys an update because one of the things I mentioned this morning was I was dealing with a really bad migraine. And that is something I deal with a lot. That is certainly, definitely a side effect that's going to be lifelong with me is dealing with migraines. And people that have brain injuries, they deal with migraines a lot. Also, insomnia is really bad with migraines. And my migraines come from a very different spot than most people's do. And so the normal migraine medication doesn't work. So it has been a 22-year struggle since my accident to try to find any kind of medication that's helpful with migraines. And I just haven't found one yet. And so I've been basically in the house all day long trying to stay where it's not sunlight and try to get rid of this migraine. And then I just set my alarm to make sure I go check on Blanco every couple of hours. And it's just been, I'm telling you what, it has been a long week dealing with worrying about him and getting overly tired, not sleeping, and dealing with migraines. And that's something people who have brain injuries deal with a lot. And I wanted to tell you guys also, I was talking about equine therapy and people can come certainly if anybody lives in my area, you can contact me and come out here and I have Blanco and then I also have another horse named Ranger and it's Blanco's son and he looks identical to Blanco and he's also very good and works with people. And so I have two horses and even with Blanco being injured, somebody could brush him and be around him. And it's actually be very good for Blanco to have that. But if you're interested in doing something in your area, since everybody lives all over the world and I can't come up with phone numbers for everybody, what you need to do is Google equine therapy and just put in your city and it will tell you programs that are close by. And if you wanted to volunteer, those people are always looking for volunteers to help them, barn chores or walk horses or help, if you've got kids, Usually they need 2 walkers with every horse to walk beside the horse if a child is riding them. And then if a child is around the horse, you always have to have an adult there with them. So these places are always looking for volunteers. And then you guys, if you have somebody that has a brain injury or PTSD, or anybody that could benefit from equine therapy, if you just Google that, you can find one that would be in your area, somebody that you could work with. And usually all of these programs are fantastic because they have to get, you have to be approved, and your horse has to be approved, and all of this stuff. So that you're dealing with people that have good horses, and they're mostly all volunteers, so their heart is in the right place. So and by the way, guys, my horse is never dirty. And look at him, he's filthy right now, but I haven't just made him put up with the bath. I mean, I've been doing so much else with him, so you just have to excuse the spots on my white horse. He's usually always pretty and white. But you guys can just Google equine therapy. And then also, I would encourage people to look for support groups in your area. You can Google PTSD support groups. Also, if you're a veteran, there are a lot of veterans groups, and also veterans organizations. In our area, I would encourage people to look up Mary T. Clinker in Lafayette. They're awesome, awesome with helping people, find resources and help. And they also help people find jobs, and help them sort of get on with life. And the support groups are really good because you're talking to other people who are going through the same things as you are. So I would encourage you guys to take that route and Google some of those things. And also, a lot of these places that have equine therapy, they're farms that have other animals too. And it's not just horses. If somebody feels like, horses aren't my thing, you know, there are tons of other animals usually that they'll have out there that you can be around. Also, there's people who also do this with dogs and things of that nature. And so, it doesn't just have to be horses. There's lots of other, animal, therapy that's out there. And you guys, if you've never tried it, it's something that really, really is helpful. It certainly saved my life. So I'm going to hang out with Blanco a little bit more, let him graze a little bit more, and then I'll have to wrap his foot again tonight. And then tomorrow, I am hoping we can get on with a regular video and have some more positive things to talk about, and maybe not some of the scary stuff that I've been having to deal with Blanco. And let's hope he kind of stays on the mend. And, you guys can see he's eating and really doesn't seem that bothered by it, but it is one of those things that I have to really stay on top of and make sure that that leg doesn't get any more swollen, and we're keeping that wound cleaned out. But thanks for all the positive messages and thoughts that you've sent Blanco's way. He appreciates it. And I can't wait so you guys can see us riding again. But I did want to just pan around, and if you guys can see off in the distance, that's Ranger. And Ranger really looks just like Blanco. And Ranger is an awesome horse. And so I am going to be riding him a little bit in the meantime while Blanco is taking some much needed R&R to recover from his injury. So we will not be horseless during this whole time. You guys will be able to get to know Ranger as well. But Blanco says thank you to everybody. Don't you, Bubba? Don't you say thank you? Yes. Yeah, yeah. Oh, he's ignoring me again. He just wants to walk around and eat grass. He's so glad to be out of his stall. But everybody have a good night, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. And thanks for all the positive thoughts that you're sending our way. Take care.